Okay, today we're going to talk about cutting out and attaching some leaves. On the last video I asked you to write your name and class code on the bottom of this with a Sharpie, and I didn't have one at the time, so I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to write my name and my class code. Let's say this is for Mrs. Knutsen's class 2KNU. Okay. Now I use cool colors in the background, so that means I have to have warm colors for my leaves. So I have picked several different warm colors that I can start with. And I want to make sure that I have a variety of colors when I use them, and I want to make sure that they have good contrast. For example, this is a light pink and this is a light orange. They are kind of similar in value, so if I put one on top of the other, there's not a big change. But let's say I use this light orange with a darker red, and you can see a much bigger change, so you can see the colors a little bit better. So you want to think about contrast when you are using your colors. I'm going to start with some pink ones, and when we cut, we're going to do smaller shapes first. So we start with our smaller circles, and I always think it's easier to start with a square. So I'm going to start with cut a square first. So this is going to be about the size of the inside of my leaf, so the smallest circle. I want to, when I cut a circle, this is the trickier part, I want to make sure that I am turning my paper as I cut. And it's okay if you don't get all the way to the edge. You can make your circle a little bit smaller if you want to. But as I turn, I am cutting, so I have a nice smooth cut. And if you look at my negative space, the part I don't want of my scrap, you can see that I get close to the edges with my cuts, and then I cut more to my circles, so I leave more on the corners. So you're kind of doing an arch from center to center of the different sides of the square. So now I'm going to decide, I think orange might look nice on this, or maybe pink, yellow, I don't know. I guess I'm going to maybe go with, I'll stick with orange, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on to the color I want to have next. So, oops, I got to make sure my bottle is open. I should hear it breathing. It's just working. There we go. Hear it breathing. Now I'm going to make sure the glue bottle is touching the paper, putting a couple of dots close to but not on the edge, and then I'm ready to flip this over. I want to leave about a 1/4 inch or so on the edge so that I can make this orange circle a little bit bigger. So once I have that glued down, now I have a guide as to where I can cut. So I'm going to cut another circle, leaving some space around the pink one so that the orange is showing. Again, I am turning as I am cutting, and I'm doing my best to do curves. Now here this is a little pointy. Maybe I want to go back and trim that off so it's a little bit smoother. And I have my second color done. And then finally my third color. You have to do 3 colors per leaf. So I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to glue this orange onto the next color. I want to make sure it shows up nice. I don't want to have similar colors next to each other. And here I'll put yellow on, leaving some space on the edge. I'm not gluing this circle right down to the edge. I want to have a yellow shape around it. So we have a circle within a circle within a circle. Those are called concentric circles. Should remind you of a target or maybe a bullseye. And I continue my cutting, leaving some yellow as I cut. My helper hand is busy turning. I turn and cut at the same time. If I cut and then turn, cut and then turn, that's when I get choppy circles. And here I have my first leaf, and then I can decide where I want to place that. I will put it right here on the lower branch. Again, we always glue on the smaller shape that I'm gluing down. I wouldn't want to glue on here, because if I put too much glue on, that would show and not be covered up by my leaf. So I add the leaf to the tree. Maybe hold it down for a minute or two, and then I'm ready to start the process all over again, choosing different colors and adding some more leaves. Maybe making them smaller, making them maybe a little bit bigger, but not too much bigger than this. But you want to fill your branches with the leaves, have fun, and show a lot of different colors.